The following program contains scenes with coarse language. Viewer discretion is advised.
Coming up on Dust Up.
When you're farming, you never have it until you have it in the bank.
My crop fails this year, it'll be 2 years in a row.
They want me to come in there and save the day, right? It was strong and it was gusty and it was out of control.
I'm out there, I'm risking my life. What the am I doing this for?
On the fields of northern Saskatchewan, harvest is underway. And that means crunch time for farmers and their Air Force. The crop dusters who keep their fields and their families alive. Winter weather is looming, and an entire season's work is at stake. Time is short, and this year it's even shorter. Heavy rains have made for a late harvest, and now farmers and sprayers have to work twice as hard. For Brennan Jardine, it's about the worst time to be working solo.
I'm around doing like old school shit. I can't go without this rubber piece. Oh, this one fell out.
My son, Sean, he did come and help me for a little bit.
What are you doing? You gotta know this shit.
But for some reason, he ditched, knowing that I couldn't get anybody. So I was a little disappointed in him, right?
Today, Brennan is desperate for help.
I went from about 800 acres up to 2,000. Maybe I'll have 3,000. It's hard to say. So it wasn't the best time for Sonny Boy to take off. It's Brennan, Jardine. I'm kind of looking for somebody that would maybe come out and give me a hand for a day or two on the ground, you know? Kind of busy, eh? If they're any good, they're already working. He said, well, maybe give a call.
Brennan has already reached out to everyone he knows.
I just need somebody that's got a driver's license, really.
Except one. Margaret, a.k.a. Mom.
Grandma's on the job, so we'll be okay.
Margaret isn't the most experienced.
Is this supposed to be turned?
You just close this. This is open and this is closed, so just shut it off, that's all.
Okay.
But Brennan will take whatever help he can get.
So I didn't know.
Yeah, no problem.
There's a sense of urgency always at harvest time. But this year it's been really crazy.
I gotta move here.
But unfortunately, Margaret can't stay.
She's actually an old age pensioner. She's working 12-hour shifts at the nursing home.
When Brennan lands, he'll be on his own once again, with no one left to call.
I'm just not feeling the love.
Bud Jardine is about to finish up his 40th season as a crop duster. Today, he's looking after his longtime neighbor, Farmer Eileen Robb.
Yeah, it's pretty dangerous, but he does a good job. I wouldn't want to ride with him.
Unlike Brennan, Bud has plenty of help. And today, his team is waiting when he touches down, including Brennan's sister, Shannon.
Dad.
Hello.
Here's to getting all your customers done and 40 years of crop dusting.
Well, thank you. It was my 40th year. Well, here's to each and everybody. A little bit for my honey. They're rare.
The next morning, Bud Jardine, the farmer, surveys his bumper crop of wheat with his farmhand of 30 years, Alvin Grosland.
Can be nice combining, Alvin, eh? It should be. My crops are really doing well. Probably the best wheat crop I've ever had in my life.
But every experienced farmer knows, don't count your chickens before they hatch.
You never have it until you have it in the bank. Then you can say you have it.
For Bud, the bank is still a long ways away.
I think it's time to take her off.
In a normal year, Bud would wait to make sure the wheat is dry enough before cutting it down. But with icy temperatures in the forecast, that's a risk he can't afford to take.
My dad's 73 and still farming because he can't afford to retire. It's not like he has a retirement plan from working at a job for 25 years. He's got none of those benefits, so he has to keep working.
Last year, Bud lost over $50,000 when an early snowfall claimed more than half his crop.
If my crop fails this year, there'll be 2 years in a row.
Bud makes the call. He'll get the precious wheat off the field and out of harm's way, even though it might be too moist.
If I fail to act, I'll look back and say I had an opportunity to do something while the weather was half decent and I didn't do it.
Bud's challenge is one that farmers have faced since time immemorial: how to get their crop to market. To give small farmers a competitive edge on the world market, the Saskatchewan Wheat Pool was formed in 1923. Grain elevators filled with the fruits of their labor used to number in the thousands. Today, only a few hundred remain, and though the Wheat Board regulates prices, bringing grain to market is much more of a challenge for family farmers like Bud Jardine.
That's nice wheat.
With half of his wheat harvested, Bud has hedged his bets with the weather. But his bins are filling up, and before he can move the grain, he'll have to get the answer to a $100,000 question. Is it dry enough to sell? 100 kilometers west of Nipawin, in the township of Garden River,
Dairy Queen and taxi.
lone wolf Brennan Jardine has just arrived at work.
Doing my laundry on the fly. That's the life of a traveling crop duster.
His plane and his rig are waiting. His ground crew is not.
I got no ground crew today. They say there's no I in team. In my case, there is. It's me, myself, and I.
And today, it's hands-on for Brennan's customers.
You going to leave this like this?
Yeah.
Don Zurakowski and brother Bernie have been farming their entire lives. And with freezing temperatures coming at any time, they know their crops are at risk.
It might freeze tonight. I don't know.
In the past, farmers' only defense against killing frosts was to predict their arrival. And to do that, they relied on everything from animal behavior and the color of the sky to a dubious science called pig spleen prognostication.
And it's time for another episode of the Pig Spleen Forecast.
Put the spleen on your head.
Get out those pig spleens.
Today, weather forecasting has come a long way, and so is crop dusting. Waiting for a crop to be ready for harvest puts farmers at the mercy of the weather, but spraying their fields with desiccants enables farmers to force nature's hand by dehydrating the crop.
So these two, this one.
Okay. A killing frost could come any day now. Their whole season's work is at stake, and the crops need spraying now.
They want me to get it done fast and save the day, right?
They picked the right crop duster. High winds are making it a dangerous day to fly.
Not having a ground crew isn't really the problem today. It's dealing with these elements.
Spraying in gusty winds is one of the deadliest risks a crop duster can take. But it takes more than a little danger to keep Brennan Jardine on the ground. Brennan Jardine is pulling out all the stops for farmers Don and Bernie Zurakowski.
There's some tough fields to spray because there's a lot of power lines and a lot of trees and a lot of building sites and hills.
Don't get hurt,
Yeah, right on. Okay, we'll talk to you later. Thanks.
The wind might have slowed him down earlier in the season, but not today. Once Brennan's airborne, conditions get even worse.
It was like, Jesus is bad, but the pressure's on. You gotta go, right?
Bernie Zurakowski looks on, amazed.
It's unreal. He's got nerve. He could be going that fast, that low to the ground.
It was actually too windy to be spraying, but this time of year I was pushing it.
It's gotta get done. It's getting late. The weather holds half decent. We'll be able to take it off and put it in the bin.
Brennan is determined to beat the weather. He pushes hard to finish the job, even as the wind gets worse.
I'm getting out of here.
Are you doing that?
Watch out.
Crop duster Travis Carley is a man on a mission. 2 days ago, he was ratted out and shut down for spraying out of town without an air operator certificate. This left his new customer, farmer Ron Kazmar, with no way to protect his canola field. Now, if either of his planes, the 30-year-old Brave or the 40-year-old Pawnee, fails this inspection, Travis won't get his air operator certificate.
Ow! Hate it!
Hey, get off the hose.
Got it!
Travis shares custody of his children with his ex-wife, and today, he's on duty.
You look like you're cold, buddy. It's nice to be with the kids as much as you can, but it's just a little bit more challenging, for sure. You're trying to focus on what you're doing so you don't forget something or whatever.
And focus counts right now more than ever.
I would like to get the serial number of that aircraft.
Right.
Do you have copies of this?
No.
For Travis, passing the inspection is crucial. Without his certificate, he can't return to Wynyard to spray. And that may mean the end of Ron Kazmar's prized crop. Back on the farm, Bud Jardine's harvest is at a standstill. Half of his wheat is still on the field, vulnerable to the weather, and it will stay there until he can move the grain in his bins. And now, the moment of truth.
And over here?
Yeah. Well, it's good looking wheat, eh?
Bud has to determine the moisture content of his wheat before he can sell it.
Pop her in.
The result he's hoping for? 14.5% moisture or lower.
Would you believe 21 dead on?
21, eh?
21% is considered very moist. Now, Bud has to find a buyer who can dry the wheat.
Hello, how are you doing today?
Hello, Kirk. How are you today?
Not bad.
If he strikes out, Bud could be stuck with a motherload of grain that's too wet to sell.
Are you taking wheat and drying it now, Kirk?
Yes, we are, yeah.
What percentage moisture will you take?
I like it around an 18.
Are you drying it?
They don't have a dryer there, no.
They don't, eh?
No.
What are you taking it at?
17 or under.
Holy shit, you're hard to deal with.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.
With his bins full of wheat, Bud is running out of time.
Having it in the bin is not the answer. It's got to be dry. Because you lose it in the bin within 10 days or 2 weeks.
Until he finds a way to dry the wheat, Bud's best ever harvest grinds to a halt.
There it is.
Travis Carley's bureaucratic ordeal is over.
It's good to be legal. I'm not used to that.
With his operator certificate in hand, Travis will return to Wynyard, where Ron Kazmar is desperately waiting for him to spray his fields.
Love you.
This means cutting his time with the kids short.
Grandma will be looking after the kids while I'm out of town. Love you lots. Remember what I said, okay? Grandma will be here to pick you up after school. Okay? Okay, we'll see you later, buddy. I'll have my phone if you need to phone me. I wouldn't say I'm the best at. I really wouldn't. I've focused more on business than my kids. The way I look at it is try and build something for them so they don't have the worries that we have.
Travis doesn't waste any time getting his Brave back to Wynyard. Finally, he can take on the weeds that are choking Ron Kazmar's crops. But when he lands, there's yet another delay. High winds.
I might just wait here yet to spray that. It's because I won't be able to get in those target areas. A lot of guys will spray when it gets real windy, but I won't. It's no fun in a plane, and it's you really can't do a good job at it. I'll just wait till it's right.
Ron takes the news well for someone with $150,000 on the line.
There's other aerial applicators in here. I don't think anybody appreciates us being down here.
Travis wasn't expecting a warm welcome from the local sprayers, but something else isn't adding up.
What could be going on?
All the other planes are leaving.
It's pretty windy to be spraying.
The locals appear to know something Travis doesn't, and nobody's cluing him in.
So what the Everybody's like, we're out of here. There was rain coming and whatnot, but I didn't think nothing of it. Just another gravel strip, no big deal.
Travis decides to leave the Brave right where it is at the airstrip, and that's a decision this crop duster may regret. his plane at the airstrip, Travis Carlee is checked into a motel. His mission's been preempted by high winds, and now, heavy rain.
It's starting to clear off here a little bit now, but just really pouring rain and lots of wind. So we went out to the airstrip, checked the plane, and of course the strip was soaking wet.
It doesn't take long for Travis to figure out what the local sprayers were keeping to themselves.
They got their units out of there, I found out later, because that runway turns to muck, like clay. It's like just mud.
The rain has made the runway too soft for a takeoff, and it could stay that way indefinitely.
Looks like there's a few showers moving through the area right now. You're going to see more and more rain showers through that area, and it's showing up on radar as well.
The problem right now is the more rain we get on this strip, the worse it gets for me getting this plane out of here, right?
The longer he's grounded, the more likely Ron Kazmar's crop will be ruined, along with Travis's fragile foothold in this new territory. Brennan's reaction to high wind is not the same as Travis's. He's been confronting it head on.
Yeah, there was some shit going on up there. Had to tighten up my seatbelt. A couple times my helmet hit the roll bar when I'm flying in the field. Boom.
The good news, Brennan survived. The bad news, he's only halfway through the job, and the wind is getting worse.
I was saving the worst field for the end. There was big power lines, plus there was trees. I thought, well, it'll get calmer later, but that was by far the worst conditions. It was strong and it was gusty and it was out of control, right?
But Brennan presses on.
I need to figure out what I have to do to look after that farmer so he can get his crop off.
High wind or not, he's determined to finish the job, and finish it right.
Now I do my cleanup and I'm pushing the envelope.
The cleanup pass is the final and most dangerous phase of the job, spraying under the power lines. Brennan reaches into his advanced bag of tricks.
I did what's called a side slip, but it's a little tricky. So, keeping an eye on the power lines. I turn into a bank, but keep going straight. And I'm cranking it with the spray on, trying to avoid hitting the power line and hitting the ground with my wing. What that does is it pushes that spray in.
But a gust of wind comes up at the worst possible moment.
It tried to throw me into the power line. So I was at the whims of the weather there. The wind throws me in, I'm done. Just before I kind of hit it, the draft stopped. And I was able to pull back from it.
Brennan pulls through.
So then I shut the spray off. Job's done. Okay, I'm going home.
But not so fast. On the road where Brennan's trying to land, the gusts have gone from challenging to lethal.
By the time I come back to the road, there was some downdrafts and it was trying to throw me in the ditch. It was just bad.
Brennan aborts the landing, and with no airstrip nearby, his options are narrowing by the minute. Brennan Jardine has been pushing his luck in gusty winds that are so strong, he's unable to land on the gravel road.
When you're landing, just as you slow down, you're the most vulnerable to wind, and it tried to throw me in the ditch pretty bad, right? But I managed to get in the air. In that area, I can't just go, okay, well, I'm just going to land over here for now, because there's not that many roads, right?
Brennan circles and finally makes a bold decision. He'll put the plane down on a stubble field. Unlike the road, there's no ditch to get blown into, but the terrain is unpredictable. One hidden rut, and the plane could flip upside down. But the spray gods are with Brennan once again, and his gamble pays off.
I guess I'm going to put the chalks in there and kind of chalk it up to experience. I'm getting older and hopefully wiser, but today that wasn't very wise. I pushed the envelope because I knew it was going to get cold, but I managed to come in and get her done.
I was waiting for that puff of black smoke maybe or something, or a power line. A little concerned. But we're done, and that's it's a good feeling.
Yeah. Okay.
Before packing up for the day, Brennan reaches out to his father.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hello.
Happy birthday.
Well, thank you very much. I missed your call this morning.
What's that, sorry?
The connection isn't the best on any level.
We're probably going to be a few of us get together here tonight, so...
Well, I'm out in Garden River, man. Oh, I've been out bouncing around in this wind. I shouldn't even be flying.
Okay. I got somebody at the door here.
What's that, sorry?
I say I got somebody at the door here knocking.
Okay, I'll talk later. Okay, bye.
Right.
If Brennan wasn't feeling the love this morning, things haven't gotten any better.
At times like this, sometimes I wonder, what the am I doing this for? I'm out there, I'm risking my life and limb, I'm risking my health.
And the day isn't quite over. Before Brennan leaves, he's approached by two more farmers.
Like, I don't know, man, she's getting worse instead of better. That last field, I was just like, I shouldn't be doing this.
They're loyal customers, Al and Kevin Scraggs.
And then Scraggs are like, well, can you do a load for us?
Brennan has just survived the last flight by the skin of his teeth. He explains the risk and the fact that he's more than exhausted.
He listened to it. He wasn't quite buying it, eh? You know, it's like, I need that field sprayed.
To spray or not to spray? With the wind still gusting and the sun going down, it would be an easy decision for most crop dusters.
You get out in the open, she's pretty windy.
But not for Brennan Jardine.
In addition to the pig spleen forecasting, there's some medicinal sides to the pig spleen as well.
Yes, if you want to be more romantic, then you eat some spleen, something like an aphrodisiac.
So forget about oysters, just get the pig spleen.
Yeah, both partners have to eat it though, or else one partner may overpower the other one. It's also good for rheumatism, arthritis, sciatica, neuralgia, eyesight, hearing, skin rashes,